So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you guys finally found me. And for those of you guys returning, I'm so blessed to be here. Thank you so much to all of you guys. And you guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. I do hope these readings resonate for you. Today's reading, we're looking at the person on your mind and what you think is their issue and what you think is going on with this person versus reality. What's actually challenging this person? Okay, so this might give you some insight based on your understanding versus the objective truth, or even their perspective coming through that might be creating a disconnect or a lack of understanding between you and this person. Okay, all my readings are intended to provide healing. And this is one of these readings in which I do put a trigger warning only because we might hear certain things that might challenge us. Okay, so if you're not prepared, then maybe you could come back to this reading at another time. And healing isn't always easy and make us feel good. Okay, sometimes healing challenges us. And so it's important that you use your own intuition towards whether the pile is resonating for your story or not. Okay, I'm just reading energy and cards. So I do ask that you come here when your intuition is clear enough for you to understand what resonates for you. Okay, I'm not predicting or dictating how things will go or how this person is outside of what's going to be resonating back to you, something you already know intuitively. Okay, and maybe we're just not conscious of it. And so this is bringing things to your conscious awareness that might be hidden in your subconscious. Okay, sometimes we don't want to see certain things about certain people, or we keep it in the blind spot. Okay, we're just not aware. And sometimes people withhold things from us, and we're not privy to understanding what's going on the other side. Okay, so that's what this reading is intended to take a look at. So let's take a look at the decks we'll be using before we pick the three options we'll be choosing from today's pick a card. So for the tarot, we'll be using Frantic Pinter's Tarot. I'm not sure which side is the front. I think it's this. Now, this could definitely be anybody at all, okay? It doesn't have to be a love situation, but it might come through that way. We'll be using the Enneagram Oracles, the Mystical Oracle, and the Love Oracle. So if this isn't romantic love and that form of, that type of a connection, then just apply it to your situation, okay? All right, beautiful angels, these are the cards I'm using. I'm going to pause and then we're going to pick three options. All right, I'll be right back. Gorgeous angels, we're going to pull three options for the person on your mind here. Don't take words literally, okay? I'm going to be channeling all the cards in that pile that you select, but go with your intuition. And if you feel stuck, just close your eyes and open them. Whichever one intuitively calls to you will most likely have the most messages for you. Okay, it is absolutely okay for piles to be reversed, meaning it's your own energy, not your person. Okay, if that's the case, you might want to go check out another pile. So let's see what we have here. All right, if you already feel called, pulled to one of these, I will put a timestamp in the description box in the pinned comment below. It'll take you directly to your pick, and I will see you there. Let's take a look. Option 1, we have the Faulty Compass with number 46. Option number 2, we have Reactivity with 38. And option number 3, we have Gaslighting with 69. Okay, so sit with these three. Take your time. I'll leave the video running for a bit, and when you are ready, I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 1, you guys picked the faulty compass, card number 46. We're taking a look at the person on your mind, the person you came here about, and what you think is their main issue, challenge with this person versus the objective truth. What's actually the biggest challenge or going on with that challenge, so that you have a clear understanding in a way to work better with this person. Okay, this doesn't have to be a romantic love situation, although it could certainly be, and it could come through this way. Okay, but apply it to the energy of the person you came here about. It's very common for the energy to be your own. If this sounds like you and your challenge, your struggles, then this could certainly be coming from spirit to provide you some insight in regards to your own challenges. Okay, so keep an open mind, and I did issue a trigger warning for this reading because sometimes we're hearing things that we're not prepared to hear. If that's the case, just come back whenever you feel ready, or go check out another reading. Okay, so tap into your intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this is the right pile for you throughout this card layout. And then for those of you guys who want to go straight away to your channeled message, I will put a link down below. So we have the faulty compass, and we have Neptune and Pluto, 63. Okay, so we have 11 and 9. And we have 41 with the number 5, meditation, spiritual practice, ego level. Meditation on the heart, quiet observation, retreat, visualization, spiritual reading, spiritual study group. Type 5, the observer thinking center between interior and exterior. Lots of blue here. Throat chakra energy. Okay, and then we have purification path 47, ego level, accepting help. Number 2, listening to your needs, personal recognition, selfless generosity, accepting rejection, asserting your limits, becoming autonomous. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. Root chakra. We have 22. That is a master number. Okay, it's diplomacy, peacemaker, healthy energetic boundaries, and divinely guided relationships. It says place and activity, ego level. Exhibition, workshop, opening, gallery, museum, showcase, artistic creation. Type 4, the individualist, emotional center between lack and abundance. Number 4. And we have healthy love, 100, growth level, serene love, peaceful love, tranquil love, trusting love, quiet love, happy love, cloudless love. Number 1, type 1, the perfectionist, instinctive center between control and letting go. And we have apathy. Ignite your passion for its antidote to indifference. Indifference and disinterest and detachment. Apathy. Okay. And then we have depression. This too shall pass. Every storm brings a rainbow. Sadness, hopelessness, and despair. And we have camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learning from the past and make memories. And we have surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you are afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. We have jellyfish, and we have the rooster, and we have the messenger with card number 19, some Leo energy, sun energy, divine masculine energy. I'm also getting some high priestess. Let's put some tarot here as well, and then I'll start to channel. Some of this is coming through spirits. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1 regarding the person on their mind and what they think is the biggest challenge that this person has versus the objective truth regarding their challenge, creating conflict between pile 1 and the person on their mind. What is the biggest challenge Very concise message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Thank you, Spirit. We have 5 wands. Talk about challenge. Knight of wands. Lots of wands. Queen of swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Justice, Libra. And 10 swords. And 8 cups in reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we have 5 swords. Okie dokie. So let me get the signs out of the way first. But I will tap into this energy, okay? And then we'll get the signs here. Under that, we have the King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Okay. Pile number 1. What should we do? Let's move this over here. Feels more balanced here. Okay. Let's get the signs out of the way. We have some Pisces. And we have some Leo. We have some Aries. We have some Taurus. We have some Sagittarius. We have some Gemini. A Libra, Aquarius. And Cancer, Scorpio. Okay? So, what's going on here? This person that you came here about, some of you guys, it could be your energy, okay? I feel like there is a fear. And this fear is driven by a past experience that this person has experienced, maybe many times over. Whereas if they allow themselves to engage authentically how they truly feel, there's a fear here that they won't be accepted, seen, welcome, or appear not in their best light. And so this person is a little bit guarded and closed off when it comes to expressing themselves in a way that is authentic and aligned with how they're truly feeling and thinking. So they do like to put on a show. Okay? And this show is one to people please in a way. Now, even if this person's a little bit not agreeable, that doesn't mean that this isn't their pile. They might be not agreeable in order for it to align with the image that they're trying to upkeep here. In fact, I do feel like this person wants control. Okay, but I feel like you might see that this person's biggest challenge is that they are too fearful to step up or to show interest or to share whatever with you, you know, like their ideas or like their emotions or like express things. I do feel like there's a lot of conflict between you and this person specifically. Okay, it could be that this person has conflict with a lot of people, but specifically in this connection, there's conflict. And you could really be seeing it as conflict because this person's withholding emotions, specifically how they feel, and they're too fearful to open up and be seen vulnerable and this sort of thing. And in a way, it's kind of right, but it's not like I'll see, I don't know what the words are here. It's kind of difficult to describe this energy. It's almost like I have an image of what is acceptable based on past experiences. And if I do something like be authentic or do something that goes against that image, then I'm susceptible to looking foolish or, looking foolish in some way. Because they remember in the past when they might have been authentic or might have done something or said something, and it created tension and created conflict or created a circumstance that they didn't like. And so this person, like, these are two opposite energies here. The rooster is very much assertive, masculine, dominant energy. This jellyfish is sort of a people pleaser and a go along, And I feel like this person could go along to people please, or they could really assert their dominance in order for people to like them. So there's this type of an energy going on, like a dichotomy of energy. But one thing's for certain is this person's truest feels in the moment are being expressed. And so this person is fearful of allowing their authentic self to be exposed, because the consequences of the shattering of their illusion of who they are, their image of who they are, I should say, is something that might be, again, exposed to people that they don't really necessarily want. Okay, now it's not that they have selective choice regarding who they want people to let into this world, so much as it is, if I have an image and a story with you and a relationship with you, then I must maintain that sort of story. Okay, now this card is all about us just being led by our emotions. And our emotions aren't even accurate because they're just not responding to the current situation or circumstance. And it leads us astray. And so even though our emotions could certainly be real, they're being generated based on trauma and based on fears that we start to think about. And then we respond to situations and people in certain ways that are really responding to what's going on inside, not necessarily to the reality of the situation. And so this person is reacting in a way that's going on inside of them based on an experience here. Okay, now I do feel like for a lot of you guys, depending on how you respond to this person, some of you guys might be seeing this as a direct correlation between how this person engages with you specifically. And so it might come off as this person is not apathetic. Like they don't really care so much, or they might be showing that like they're rejecting you, or in the current situation, they're responding in a way that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It might be very hurtful, or might be in one way that we see, and then we put a story to it. And it's not necessarily responding to you. It's responding to what's going on inside of this person. This person has a lot of shadow, okay, as we all do. But this shadow needs to be understood in order for this person to transmute a lot of this so they could deal in the reality of situations and allow themselves to change. This person is fearing change because the authentic self would be different than the version of them that they're used to being in. I feel like this person does this a lot for control. They don't want things to be different and out of their control in a way that they haven't experienced, because then this person might leave themselves exposed to uncharted territories. So I do feel like this person likes to know in their mind, they like to know what the outcome would be and what they think your projection of them is based on like looking at their image. Okay, because if this person, even though it's kind of skewed because they could never 100% guarantee your perception of this person, but it's like a little world inside of their head here that assumes that they know what your projection of their image is and that they have a control of the situation and of you. And if your emotions are sort of under their control or how you see their image, then they have more buy-in and more control. Okay, so this person is being called to really observe situations from a more neutral perspective, specifically themselves. They're really wrapped up in their image and themselves. And so through quiet observation and through a truthful acknowledgement of what they feel in the moment and how they're experiencing certain things without the veil of the shadow is what this person is really being called and pulled to do. I feel like this person is always sort of on, okay? They're always sort of on display. They're always in the energy that other people are going to be judging me or seeing me or like making assumptions and creating an image that's out of my control. And I don't like that idea. And so I want that image to be under my control. Okay, but then there's too much energy exerted in that false self and that narrative that this person doesn't experience what it's like to just be loved as they are. And so the lesson for this person is to experience a serene love that's not clouded with all of this manipulation of image. It's like I can only be loved and seen according to them if I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. And so I must do this, that, and the other thing. And now I'm more susceptible to being loved and understood and welcomed, because last time, my experience, whenever it was, it resulted in something poor or it resulted in something I didn't like. Okay, so this person definitely tries to assert confidence or dominance in a way to overpower certain perceptions. They might even like sometimes be very opinionated in some way to it's like, I want to appear confident, or I want to appear like I might have a stronger opinion, or I might appear like I want to look a certain way here, but it actually isn't helping them. And I feel like this person might have experienced, with this 10 swords here, a situation that they still haven't fully healed from the past. And they might correlate it to, because I did this, it resulted in an ending, or because I do that, it results in people being conflicted. And now I want to control that conflict as best I can by mitigating it or by controlling, again, my image. But that doesn't allow this person to just authentically express how they're feeling and what's going on with them. And so a lot of you guys might really feel like there's undue conflict and there's undue challenge with this person when you're just sort of secluded looking at a circumstance or a situation. This person's bringing in their baggage, bringing in their shadow, bringing in their experience of the past. And they remember like what it was like, the outcome of what's happened in the past situation that they're trying to mitigate and they're trying to control. I feel like this person also doesn't want, like, there's an energy, it's hard to put into words, you guys, but I'm getting it from these cards here. It's like there might be like a power that this person has in their mind of other people, specifically when it comes to this connection, that's like an illusion that they think that they could control situations and mitigate them and get you to be in a certain way and do certain things based on how they act. You know, of course we can't get people to act in certain ways or perceive us in certain ways. We're just sort of guessing, you know, but they might feel that they're like truly like, I don't know, like really good at controlling situations that are dictating then your moves. And it's like they don't want you to get too far ahead or get one step ahead and see through the illusion of themselves. And so this is why this person's sort of guarded here. It's like you're on a need to know basis. And you might sense this from this person because it's like piecemeal, or like giving you, what you need to know based on when they think you need to know it. That's not really helping this connection grow, because it's not based on trust and vulnerability and allowing ourselves to be exposed to the truest version of us and see what happens. So there is fear of that, and so this is why this person is guarded. Now, does this person have authentic, genuine feelings? Yes, we see the King of Cups here, but I feel this person is really conflicted by having real feelings. And at the same time, it's like this person sabotages with this reactive energy that they haven't healed yet, based on a loss, based on an experience that really hurt them. And so now they want to mitigate this from happening again. And so the more under their control you are, then the more successful they can be at you having decisions and making choices outside of this person's control. Again, it's all illusion and projection that they can ever control you in this way. But I feel this person doesn't want you to leave. Okay, so there could be abandonment issues. It's like, if this person knew who I was, they might leave me. They might not want to be here. They might, meanwhile, it's like they're creating this sabotage. So it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy of, I don't want you to have an image of me, and create decisions outside of my control. And so therefore I'm going to mitigate it as best as I can. Illusion. There's no way they could possibly know what would drive you away or pull you close. And so for this person to just be themselves and be loved for themselves would be an experience, pulling in who's supposed to be around them and being truly loved for who they are. Then they could feel whole and complete. But as long as they're putting on this sort of shenanigan, then it's like, if you do fall in love with this version, it's like not even their truest version anyway. So they're sort of putting themselves in a situation here to not be truly accepted and loved for who they are. And it feels empty. And so again, the self-fulfilling prophecy of something that they need to heal within themselves. I feel like this person does fear trusting situation to unfold, for themselves to just be themselves, and trust that vulnerability isn't a weakness, and that they don't have to flex or be dominant in order for them to have a good understanding of situations. Like, they're confusing that with control, and control correlating that to them not being abandoned, or them sort of having the upper hand in how things unfold between you and this person. So yeah, this person is reacting to their past pains and past situations and circumstances that left them feeling hurt, abandoned, and slighted. And it's like a reactionary thing now because of that. It's like in the energy body. And so there's a reaction to engaging with you. And so I'm not 100% sure here, like, your perception outside of maybe you see that this person is just sort of closed for another reason, or that this person fears changing themselves because they want to stay put in a world that they already created. And it's kind of true, but kind of not, because it's not that this person is attached to stagnancy and keeping things sort of exactly the same, stagnant. It's like the change that this person fears is a change that's outside of their adaptation to keep up with it. And so could they accept change in their world? Yes, at their pace of whatever, based on their illusions, because this person carries a lot of illusions here with this Neptune Pluto that was caused by a past situation. And so they're not really fearing change itself so much as it is fear that a change that's outside of their knowing or their understanding might create conflict. And so they want to get ahead of this thing. And so, of course, with all of this, because it's not really based in truths and authenticity, there's this, how far ahead can we get with change, living the false self? Not very far. And so this is why there is no real progress here. Because maybe this connection is something that you were expecting to grow over time in some way, or there to be a balance between you and this person. It seems to be like a power dynamic here where this person wants dominance over you so that your change doesn't outgrow the situation. And then they experience the same thing they did in the past, abandonment or hurts, or you having some sort of control or power over them, rather than just being open to the fact that there is a love out there that could be welcoming to them if they're authentically themselves. But this person won't authentically sort of know who they are unless they observe and sit as a silent sort of observer here through a meditation or through a spiritual practice, such as being, again, the observer, witnessing themselves from a non-judgmental place and not bringing in their baggage and their stories of the past to put those eyes on the current situation and then see it with that veil of trauma. And then I feel like this person might be more ready to open up when it comes to allowing people in, because I feel like with this accepting help, I do feel this person carries a lot of weight on themselves with this rooster. It's like the dominance means I must manipulate situations here by, again, you're on a need to know basis, but it's like it actually handicaps them and limits them when they're not working with others, like in a balanced, healthy way, for there to be, the synergy of two people to create something beautiful. It's like there's always sort of a deficiency here, because this person will always sort of feel alone, on their own, not supported, not loved. And the reason they would feel not loved is because their truest self isn't available to be loved, because it's hidden under a bushel here of traumas and fears and need for control and trying to mitigate situations that they think they're mitigating, but really they're creating all sorts of circumstances here. I do feel like this person is very careful with what they say and what they do, and only when they know that there'll be a certain outcome based on that, then they act, then they say, then they do, and they truly think that this is something wise, that they're doing this to protect themselves, or it's the wisest thing to do. And so it does feel like manipulative here, because they use their words in a way to create, again, outcomes and to create arguments when an argument needs to be thrown in there. Yeah. It does seem very manipulative, and maybe you see this person as being sort of manipulative in a way, but it's like it's really driven from this illusion of what they're truly feeling in that moment, which has nothing to do with the present circumstances and all to do with the past situation bubbling up. And that's what they're reacting to, that emotion. And they don't see it, So it's not that they're really reacting to you. And so you might take it personal, or you might, be internalizing this sort of reaction, or what this person said to you, or why they're not doing this or why they're doing that. And it really doesn't have anything to do with you. And so that's the sad part, is like, are they actually engaged with you, or are they just battling their shadows? And this person's just battling their shadows. And I do feel like with this fear of change and this 8 cups in reverse, Spirit's really talking about this person really sitting with the disappointments of what they're experiencing emotionally, because there is a disconnect. It feels like a lot of people can't get to them and connect in this beautiful place of love. Because if this person is never available and showing themselves authentically, nobody can get to that version of them. It's hidden. And so they constantly have this feeling of, I'm being rejected, or I'm not being accepted, or I'm not being understood right now, or loved right now, or I have to put on this show right now, or it's going sideways right now. So why they feel like they have to do this thing. Meanwhile, the reason they're doing that thing is the cause of why they can't be accepted and loved and seen authentically for who they are. It's sort of a mess here, you guys. And I don't know if I'm doing a very good job explaining this thing, but really at the end of the day, it's like power dynamics to control situations. And it's like, as long as you are sort of falling into that narrative, doing as I suspect you to do, then we're okay. But the minute you go outside of that and I lose control of what you might see or what you might find out or what you might be thinking that goes against my image or what's going on in my mind, and then the power dynamics kick in. And maybe for some of you guys, this is coming through, that for you to know if this is your person. I do feel there's something very creative about this person. And I do feel like this person does well with like situations that don't challenge this person. And so they might spend a lot of time painting, writing, doing creative works because they're safe there. They're not challenged so much, and they don't expose themselves open to being rejected. Although, I mean, art could certainly be rejected if it's, being criticized. But I feel like this person feels safe in situations like that because there is no threat of it going in a way that's outside of their control. And so they spend a lot of time doing this sort of thing. Okay, creative expression. And what Spirit's also coming through with this person is that because they might have spent a lot of time in this energy, there is a depression forming because this person is really feeling very rejected. And they will forever sort of feel rejected as long as their truest self isn't being seen, because nobody can accept that self. And if no one can accept that self, then we always feel like we're never fully seen and loved and appreciated. And so we get upset and we get more emotional, and we start to act like that even more. And it like stacks up on top of, on top of itself. So I don't know where you're at with this person, but I feel like it's been stacked up, that this person feels very rejected. And even if you're not rejecting this person outrightly, they feel rejected. They feel very rejected because their authentic self, again, isn't allowed to come out, isn't allowed to be loved and seen. And so how can you do anything here with this person? They have to be the ones to see themselves in this energy, but we can't internalize this, Yeah. They feel very rejected here. They feel not seen. They feel not understood. They feel very conflicted. They feel like if you challenge them or people challenge them, it's like it's a slight on them. But it's not really them so much as it is the shadow self here that's being looked at, because that's how they're reacting. And so the reaction is not in line with the present truth of what's going on. This person's being asked to take a look at what's happened in the past here and deal with whatever that situation has been from the eyes of a not judging, from a neutral observer, so that they can heal that. And I feel like this person would feel a lot better if they were able to really connect in a way that allowed them to authentically speak about what they need. Because like everyone else, they need love, they need help, they need to be engaged with people in a way that can talk about their fears, their needs, their wants, their desires, and all of this stuff openly. But the more they sort of keep it to themselves and try to fulfill it in ways that isn't sharing with others or requesting others to, like engage with them in a way so that they don't fear the disappointment or being disappointed by the people who they reach out to. They just avoid doing that altogether and manipulate through back doors of getting this fulfillment in some way, and it's never fully fulfilled. Yeah. So let's just see what Spirit wants to say. I don't know that I did a very good job here explaining this person because it seems very difficult and challenging to channel this energy, if I have to be honest with you, okay? But let's see. Spirit, what do we need pile 1 to know then about this person that they came here about? This connection. 6 swords in reverse. So you 8 cups in reverse, 6 swords in reverse. This person is challenged in a situation that doesn't allow them to move forward. So fear of change. And I feel like the forward, the change, and the movement is more like it is spiritual, but it's like the emotional growth and the shadow work. This person is sort of stunted and stuck here until this energy is looked at. Page of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords in reverse. The 8 of Swords. Why is this 6 swords in reverse? So a lot of thought coming through with swords. 3 cups in reverse. The Hierophant in reverse. Taurus energy. Why is this? Oops, these are falling in my lap here. I will do the one that's revealed itself. 8 Pentacles in reverse. I do feel like there's more here. For pile number 1, Spirit, what do we need to know? King of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Ace of Swords in reverse. And we have the 6 of Cups. We need to know about this person. And the 9 Pentacles in reverse. Okay, Death. Scorpio energy and 10 Cups. So let me sit here with this energy. Okay, beautiful angels. So a lot of you guys might feel as though this person is withholding, which they are, okay? But the authentic self isn't that they're trying to keep it secret from you. This person's authentic self is hidden from themselves as well. They need to understand their truest version of themselves and see themselves clearly. This is why this person's sort of stuck. This is why this connection, I feel, is in a 5 swords type situation, and it's not progressing. There is an opportunity here for there to be happiness with the 10 Cups and this Page of Pentacles that this person could certainly road towards, heal towards, but it would require transformation. This person has an understanding right now, okay, like we talked about here, that isn't based in truths and reality. And so this person can't be available to commit and can't be available to truly see themselves from the perspective of reality. And as long as this person is under that, there is a challenge with progression and there's a challenge with this person showing up. I feel like this person, if the going gets tough, this person avoids. This person's also very confrontational. They might be very defensive. This is all stemmed from their limiting mindset of who they think they are and mitigating circumstances in a way that they think they can mitigate. And so if they gotta be confrontational, they will. If they have to do this, they will. It's like a fight or flight sort of response here, but it's all based on a limiting understanding that they have of who they are and what the situation is posing, if it's a threat or not. And there's a lot of this, but it's all stemmed back from this experience with this Six of Cups. Okay, so this person might seem very cold to you. They might seem really removed from their emotions. And in a way they are, because they're, again, fight or flight. They're responding from an experience of what they understand of the past. This is what this person is being called to work on and understand here. Okay. And I don't know if like a lot of you guys feel like this person is, just really sort of focused on other things or distracted in some way here, in some sort of, I don't know, is like for some of you guys, they could be very isolated and removed in some way, and sort of it looks like they're choosing this as their lifestyle, or like, but it's not really a choice so much as it is a protective mechanism here of how this person has thought that they had to be. I feel like this person, for some of you guys, might have been really hurt by, again, this experience of the past. And I don't know if it was in childhood or a past relationship or whatever. And it's like, whatever they got to do to not repeat that. And so if it was structured, if it was like a committed relationship, if it was a marriage, if it was what I observed my parents to have, I now want to be the opposite of that. And so I won't engage in that same way. And so I'm difficult, and I'm challenging, and I'm confrontational, and I'm all of these things, because I correlate that experience to the downfall of what this could be. And that's not true, and it's not really in line with truth. But this person doesn't see themselves clearly, and they're not being authentic. That's the biggest challenge here, is this person's not authentic because they're not knowing who they are based on the traumas and the reactionary version of them that keeps kicking up to protect themselves from repeating something that they've observed in their world that didn't feel good to them, or didn't look good, or could be threatening to them. And so there's always a wall and a distance between you and the truest version of me, even though I don't know who the true version of me is. And so through time, this person would have to sort of work through and transform this and release that idea of who they think they need to be in order for there to be a valid sort of opportunity in regards to experiencing a 10 cups. And so this person might appear as somebody maybe even who is a little bit, who's showing up like, oh, I'm good on my own, or I'm confident in my decisions, or I have everything under control. But the opposite is true. If this person is like seemingly like they're okay being single, or like not being around people, it's really a hyper independence, avoiding connection and avoiding bonding. So it's not a choice that's healthy and helpful. And for some of you guys, this person could really be sort of lacking the confidence in allowing their authentic self to come out and be loved, in case their authentic self is not loved. And so therefore, I don't have confidence to just allow myself to be seen, because what if I'm rejected? What if I'm rejected? I can't allow myself to be rejected. Now, this is sort of the thought. It's not loving from the heart. It's like remembering a memory of why I can't allow myself to be in that world. That's the 8 swords. Okay. So this is your reading, pile number 1. This was quite the reading. I don't know who's it's going to resonate for, but it's definitely how it came through. I might have not have done it complete justice here, but it's definitely a difficult energy, and you might really understand it based on, the way it's coming through here to be your person. Okay, but remember, like, this is nothing really to do with your dynamic with this person so much as it is this person needs to connect to their authentic self in order for them to get clear, for them to be able to commit, for them to be able to be open and confident and exposed with their authentic self so things can move and progress. Because I feel this person's hiding, and they're hiding from themselves, and they're hiding from you most likely too. All right, so this is what I have, pile 1. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. You guys picked reactivity with card 38, and that's number 11. Let's get into your reading. We're looking at the person on your mind, the connection you came here about, and what you think is this person's biggest challenge or their problem, okay, in regards to how they're showing up in this connection with you versus the reality, the truth of what's really sort of going on or what this person's big challenge is, okay? And this is here in order to help you to communicate better or understand this person better, okay? So you guys can heal this connection better if you're wanting to. All right, so I do ask you to use your intuition, which you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this pile makes sense to you. Best way to do that is to sit through this card layout. If you want to go straight away to your reading, though, you can do that. I will put a timestamp down below. Okay, so let's take a look. We have reactivity. We have Uranus with 59. Card 14, Sagittarius energy. So Uranus is the great awakener. We have a lot of Aquarius energy coming through. And we have 52, number 7. It says purification path, ego level, tempering oneself, restricting distractions, welcoming suffering, living simply, mastering patience, redefining pleasure, recognizing your limits. Type 7, the enthusiast thinking center between pleasure and pain. Some Cancer energy coming through. And we have the veil of ignorance, number 3, ego level, being successful, all-consuming ambitions, lack of authenticity, falsehood, workaholic, competitiveness, appearances, and evaluation. It says type 3, the achiever, emotional center between appearing and authenticity. So 3 is Taurus and Libra, Pisces energy. Okay, and then we have 16, temporality with ego level, future, forthcoming, tomorrow, ulterior, destiny, prospect, afterwards. Another 7 here, so we have 7, 7. 7, 7 is a master number. Trust the fall, an adventure that arises from deep wisdom, trust of life, and trust of self. Type 7, enthusiast thinking center between pleasure and pain. So we have a lot of green, okay, which is heart chakra energy. We have 24, or the number 6 with club. Place and activity, ego level, association, society, band, circle, council, and alliance. Type 6, the loyalist thinking center between mistrust and trust. And we have envy. Turn green eyes into a force for self-improvement and inspiration. Jealousy. And then, I don't know what that word says. I don't know. Covetousness, I think, and longing. And then we have Cupid's arrow. Have faith, love is coming, surprise, invitation, or meeting, hesitation. We have surrender, defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Interesting, we have reactivity right there. Okay. And we have surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. And we have the hawk. And we have cornucopia, 31, or the number 4. Some Aries energy and some Scorpio energy coming through. Let's pull some tarot as well. For pile number 2, spirits, clear and concise message regarding pile number 2, the person they came here about, how they're seeing pile 2's person's challenge versus the objective truth regarding pile number 2's person's challenge. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy. the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. We have the Ace of Cups, and we have a bump. Let's cover this bump. All right. Ace of Cups. Pile number 2's person's challenge here. 9 Cups in reverse. 10 Swords. Why is this Ace of Cups here? Temperance. Sagittarius energy in reverse. Why is this 9 Cups here? 7 Cups. Oh my goodness. And why is this 10 of Swords here? 6 Wands in reverse. I'm not surprised to see 6 Wands. That's this energy over here. And then the 4 of Cups in reverse. Okay. And then the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and then the Queen of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Interesting. It's such a consistent energy here. Like we have the 9 Cups in reverse. I mean, I even pull this cupcake, which is giving me gluttony, you know, and temperance in reverse, like need for moderation here. 7 Cups, like pie in the sky type energy here, and all of this ego. Okay. Tempering oneself. So this person, they're very explosive here. I think, you know, very explosive with Uranus. It's like all of a sudden this person could just like have this like explosive energy, and they might react to you in certain ways, and your understanding might be that this person is reacting to the situation or the circumstance or to you. Okay, but there's more going on in this person's world. I feel like this person has an understanding and an idea of where they need to be and how they need to be in order to be successful. Whatever success means to this person has an understanding of a version of them that they don't feel they've quite matched up to or met up to. Okay, I don't know if it's like in order for them to be in the connection with you per se, if they're competing with you with this Queen of Pentacles and this envy, it could be. If you guys have like a really good sort of solid financial ground, and it doesn't even have to be money or finances, it could also be like set up, like you have maybe your own place or a good job, or like you're to do and you're complete and you're whole and you're balanced. This person feels like they need to be at a certain place in their world right now. And if there's anything sort of reflecting back to them that they're not there, they get very defensive. And it's like a trigger here. And they're really sort of disappointed in themselves for not being there or to be falling short. And yeah, and my email goes off. It's like, I don't want to seem like a loser or someone who fell short or someone incapable or like, yeah, like I don't want there to be you cutting me off or this ending or there being a painful ending because of the simple fact that I can't reach or win or be successful in achieving something. And so this person is really sort of the ends justify the means here with this 9 Cups in reverse, because I do feel like this person is really fighting for success at any sort of cost here. But I feel like they're emotionally not satisfied because they'll be forever sort of chasing this egoic thing and never feel fully balanced and fully sort of, I don't know, like able to accept themselves where they're at. And so I feel like this person might be, there's so many messages coming through here energetically, and I hope I can voice what's coming through. One, I feel like this person definitely might have the, what's it called? The symptom of pushing everything out to one day, one day, one day, one day. Like one day. Yeah, look, future and divine timing. So if this person hasn't stepped up or hasn't done something here, it's like this person really has this fantasy that in the future, sometime when I am the CEO or when I am successful or when I do have the thing, then I can do XYZ. I can't enjoy you or myself or what's abundant here in the now unless I'm harboring all of those qualities that I render to be successful or to do. This person doesn't feel like they're there yet. They don't feel successful, and that they're not seeing the bigger picture here of, it's like their big picture, okay? They're projecting into the future. It's like they want to see big picture. And so it's like big picture, I'm like really intelligent and I'm thinking far in the future. And it's like I'm trying to prevent an ending. And so the only way to have success is for me to sort of plan out what success will look like and how that will unfold in the future. And then this way I could mitigate my losses and all of this. Meanwhile, in the present moment, we're unhappy, things are imbalanced. I'm not enjoying the fruits of my labor here. I'm like not honoring myself, not allowing myself to experience love here in a way that makes me feel good because I'm constantly projecting into the future of something that I'm picturing that I need to be and I can't quite chase. And what happens if I don't succeed at that? I don't even want to think of this, And so if anything comes through sort of mirroring this to me, I get very defensive about it. And this person might even be sort of defensive about this connection. And so we might take it as this person is just guarded, or this person is like pushing out a certain experience in the now. And it's like not like, yes, but it's not because they're pushing out the experience in the now. It's like this person is really projecting themselves into the future. And that's the version of them that they're attached to. And so whatever they're doing in the now has nothing to do with the now. These readings are so layered, and I don't know that I'm doing a good job explaining it, but it's really nothing to do with the now. Because if this person was in the now, this person wouldn't be defensive. This person would be enjoying your company and the abundance. But it's like, as long as I'm attached to the future version of who I have to be, and I keep comparing it and seeing myself as falling short, then I'm never happy in the now. I'm not happy in the now. I'm not happy in the now. And so I'm my worst critic, like projecting a version of me that I must be. And you might not even be like telling this person that they have to do or be anything like this. And it could be that this person might have someone or something in their world that they're sort of comparing themselves to. Maybe they have someone that's providing their resources right now, or maybe, like I said, they're comparing your lifestyle to theirs. And so if you're wondering whether this person has true like emotions in the now, yes, they do. This is why it's really driven. This energy of theirs to be successful in the future is really driven from their now feelings, because I think their now feelings is like, I really do connect here to you. And so it's a motivator for me to be more and do more. And it's like, the more I can't reach this version of me in the future, the more defensive I become and the more challenge I create here. But it's like, I don't want to experience losing out. I don't want to experience a rejection here in the future because I couldn't live up to the success in my mind. This person wants to be welcomed. This person wants to be accepted. This person wants to be approved. And they might want to be approved by your family or by your friends or by certain groups of people. It's like, I need to live up to that hierarchy of grouping of community or people, because in my mind, that is success. Anything that's not that isn't really checking the box. And then I might be looked at as someone who was not as, I don't know, successful, And it's like this person is chasing and chasing and chasing. And I do feel like this Cupid's arrow and this hesitation, it's like, if you're wondering whether this person has authentic feelings with this King of Cups and this Cupid's arrow, like I said, yes, for sure. but they really feel like they're sort of seeing the bigger picture and like trying to not give in. So there's this hesitation to this present moment to allow themselves to have a new beginning when they could fall short and then suffer at the hands of a disappointment that will inevitably come. So it's like when I take my shot, I want to cross my T's, dot my I's, and know for certain that this future is going to unfold in the exact same way that's going to help me feel like it'll be successful, you know? And I feel like this person is being sort of shown, or needs to be shown, that there is no control of anything at all, that there is tower upon tower that can happen out of our control. And I don't feel like this person can engage with tower situations here because they're too wrapped up in a future version of what they want to build or what they understand. And so if things are falling apart in front of them, it's like, it's okay in a way, you know? And this is where there's a disconnect. It's like, what do you mean it's okay if things are falling apart, or you're defensive, or it's not working in the now and you're reactive to this? And it's like, they're going to sabotage and ruin it in the now because their eye is too focused on the version of them or the thing that needs to happen in the future at the expense of the now. So how is this winning? And how is this going to unfold the groundwork? Because I feel like the groundwork here isn't being done. And so you might think that this person is just sabotaging the now because there's like them looking at the now and not wanting to engage in the now and being defensive of the now, and them just like choosing this sort of an energy. And it's like, yes, they're choosing it, but because they think that they're being intelligent in some way to prepare themselves for a future version of them that could engage with you and be welcomed and accepted and approved and successful in the tomorrows, you know? Yeah, there's so much emphasis on the tomorrows and the future version and the fantasy thing. And so right now stays sort of clouded because it's like, well, what are they doing in the now? And what do they know of the now? Because there is abundance in the now to be had. And it's like disappointing. But this person really feels like they can't engage because they're imbalanced right now, because they're missing and there's a lack mindset. And it's like, if I'm going to hurt, I don't want to hurt in the future when maybe we're attached, or maybe when, you know, I shoot my shot to make it a thing, and then all of a sudden it's not successful. Then there'll be big disappointments. It's like, yeah, but there's big disappointments right now. Because I feel you're disappointed in this person's lack of engagement in some way. And it's like, when will this person see or engage or acknowledge? I feel like this person is also like with all of this, like 9 cups in reverse, this cupcake that I just put here, and this temperance in reverse, and this tempering oneself. Specifically, it says restricting distractions and recognizing your limits. I feel like this person sometimes will come down on themselves because it's not working. And it's like, I might as well just, you know, when we're already losing, I might as well lose big right now. It's like, I'll lose big right now and sabotage right now and give into the right now in a way that isn't helping the situation. Because in the future, when I do intend on committing myself to something greater, then I'll take it seriously in some way then, you know? It's always pushed out. It's pushed out, it's pushed out, it's pushed out. Yeah. And I feel like this person feels threatened by other people. They could definitely be threatened by you, okay? Or like people who do better, or have more. And it's like, I don't want to compete right now if I'm not prepared. And so I'll just do something that sort of doesn't play the game or doesn't compete now, because they feel already like they're not open to compete or to win. So what's the point of competing? What's the point of showing up? You know, so I'll just sort of sabotage and play small or do whatever they're doing here, which I feel is like sabotaging. and crossing their fingers and their toes that in the future there'll be an opportunity for them to win. It's kind of a very weird energy here, but let's see, Spirit, for pile number 2, what do we need to know about this person then and their energy? The Ace of Wands in reverse. It's like, I won't go after it and I won't get too excited about pursuing what I need to in the now. So this person might just be acting like they're disinterested, you know, with this Ace of Wands in reverse. It's like, I'm not prepared and I'm not ready just yet to be successful. King of Swords in reverse. This could be quite cold. 10 of Wands. The Fool. Aquarius energy. And I have the Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And we have the 4 of Cups. And why is this 10 Wands here? The Hangman, Pisces energy, and then the 8 Pentacles and the 5 Pentacles. So it's the same energy. It's like this person's carrying an undue burden that they're putting on themselves. They're needing to change their perspective of how they're seeing themselves. You know, so much weight into the future, and then they're burdening themselves by how they appear, how they think others see them as not successful. And it's like this lack mindset with the 5 Pentacles. And it's like, when I do have the job or when I do put that effort, then I'll be seen in this way. And it's like, that's all a mindset that we're telling ourselves that right now I'm in scarcity. Right now I can't have abundance, but in the future, when I work or when things work out or whatever, then I can accept abundance in some way. It's like, why? Because you say so? This is a heaviness. This person might seem very cold. And so how you're seeing them is cold, not interested. They might be not pursuing you. They might be rejecting your cup. And it's like this person isn't invested. And it seems like foolish here. Like, look at this Fool card. It's really wackadoodle. Like, he's on a donkey here and he's going one way and his legs are going the other way. And he's just all discombobulated. And again, I'm getting that 9 Cups in reverse and all of that, like, tempering oneself, because I feel like this person is just being foolish right now because they can be foolish because there's nothing to lose. But it's foolish on top of foolish, because it's like, yeah, you are losing. What they're losing here is they're like creating this thing they can't come out of, you know, even if they were sort of successful in the future position. But it's like, you've already proven yourself to be foolish. And it's almost like they think they deserve to be rejected in this energy that they're in. Yeah, they feel they need to be rejected in this energy, and in the future when there's more to do, then they'll be deserving of love or like acceptance, or have more, deserving to get more, to be seen as more. But right now, because they're not more, it's like, just see me as a fool, just see me as someone who's not good. It's like, but so it's almost like what's coming through, if they were really concerned with image, then this person wouldn't ever want to be appeared foolish or appear less than or this type of thing. But it's almost like, treat me less than, show me I'm less than, and all of this stuff, because I'm not worthy or deserving of being treated and seen and all the good things. Only when I get there, if I ever get there, how I'll ever get there. And one day I'll get there. If I do, then I can deserve this connection, or I could deserve to be regulated some way. And this could definitely be an excuse to stay small, stay foolish, stay stay in lack. Yeah. And it's all a mindset that this person has, that they're not deserving in the energy that they're in. And so I might as well push out love, and I might as well be cold here. You know, it's a very cold energy because they feel rejected themselves, but they're doing it sort of to themselves. So they are doing the self-fulfilling prophecy of, look at me, I'm in the scarcity, I'm non-deserving. Of course, if they're cold and pushing people out, who's going to want to accept them? and if we feel like this person isn't interested or isn't engaged, then it's like, well, no one's going to want to engage with them. And it's like the burden they're carrying on themselves. I'm also getting this person might be a little lazy here, okay? And it's like they're wanting to just wake up in a better version of them in some time and space. And it's not going to fall from the sky here. And they might be a little defensive about this lack of doing or lack of motivation or lack of ambition or lack of something here, but it's not that it's missing from this person. It's that this person is given into sabotaging ways. It's that this person's given into destructive ways and saying that this is who they are and how they are right now. And like in the future that they would, when they do decide to be more, that then they could get more and be approved and be accepted and be welcomed and enjoy abundance like everyone else. But right now it's like, no. And so it's like this alter worlds, the future version of me that could be approved and accepted and all of that stuff. And then the now version of me that I don't really care about, that just sort of can sabotage, can be defensive, can let things sort of fall apart, can like live in this sort of way. It's like an excuse to live in this way. Because I do feel this person feels that they're, I don't know, they put a lot of weight on this tiered system, like there's another grouping of people that are better than them and that they're like less than in some way. And so they might as well deserve to be suffering here in a world that's sort of nothing, like a tower from here, Uranus, there's like this tower energy of like nothing and like, yeah. I don't know. I feel like for you guys, let's just get one more sort of message here because I do feel like I'm missing something. These readings are very weird here. I feel like your person is really thinking that they have a good understanding of why they're deserving and undeserving of certain things, which is not true. 7 Pentacles in reverse. Might as well not even put the effort in if I'm not capable. 5 of Cups in reverse. I feel bad for myself. Woe is me. Queen of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Strength in reverse. Leo energy. And we have the King of Swords coming out again in reverse. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Ace of Wands in reverse again. And the 4 Pentacles in reverse. And then the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords and the Hangman. Pisces energy. So I think what Spirit's showing here is you might be understanding this person, or at least there's a need for you to see differently this person than how maybe you might have been correlating maybe your self-worth or your value. And I don't know that you are doing that anymore. I feel like some of you guys might be letting go of this person or the situation or the circumstance, because I do feel like you might be seeing finally, a different way of seeing this person from a way that isn't sort of attaching your own value or self-worth or how this person's been engaged with you, especially if this person's been defensive, reactive, and acting all of this way and sort of going down in this ship. Because I do feel like this person has not been able to step up. There's a cowardly energy. There's I'd rather stay in this world of victimization and sadness and lose out because this is sort of what I deserve here until I could be more in some way. And so this person is just really mad at the world. And I feel like they've been probably cold towards you and have shown you no interest here and haven't really stepped up. And so it's like, well, if they don't step up, if they're being cold, if they're being defensive, if they're not pursuing, if they're not showing, they're not nurturing, they're not putting energy, they're now sitting here looking at spilt milk, what they lost out on. And you're like, I got to let this person go, or I got to let the situation go. And I have to move on and understand it and see this from a different perspective that's actually in line with what's actually going on in the truth. That all of this energy had really nothing to do with you, and that you can manifest towards you someone who would value you, who isn't sort of trapped here in this energy of, I don't know, non-effort. Again, I'm getting like lazy energy from the 7 Pentacles in reverse, like nothing's produced. And if you're apart from this person because you have let them go, because some of you guys are working on letting this person go, some of you guys have already, it's like this person is looking at the situation and the circumstance still as a victim, that they lost out. And it's like, yeah, but they need to take accountability as to why they lost out. You know, it feels very sort of cowardly here in an energy, rather than stepping up and taking ownership as to why things didn't work out. It's like they feel comfortable sticking to the same story and narrative of why it's not working. Like it was just because they're undeserving, and that they already sort of, I don't know, called it, you know, they called it. It's like, no, they didn't call it. They're the ones who created it by this mindset and this energy. I am getting an energy here that this person is, once they go through this sort of mourning process, I do feel like this person will come to some need to understand greater truths and provide clarity as to the whys here, because I feel like this has been something that's been quite impactful to this person. And I do feel like this person is being called to deal with their ego. And maybe this experience has made them sort of sit and look back on truths of how they've engaged and why things have happened the way that they have by experiencing you. Because I do feel like this person is passionately pulled by you with this Queen of Wands and this Ace of Wands here, but they're not letting their own desires sort of allow them to experience you because of this other thing that they have going on, that they're undeserving or not capable, not ready, and all of this other stuff, like Priestess in reverse. So there is this, well, this Pisces energy, but there's their intuition here that's like trying to get them to understand and like connect to this higher version of self so that they could get clearer understanding, but they'll have to accept, you know, and it's like, then they'd have to accept like all of this destructive ways that they have been engaged with. This person would just rather not try so that they don't fail, is really what it comes down to. You know, I'm just going to fail anyway, so I won't try now, but in the future, in the future, in the future, and we keep pushing it out instead of trying, because it's cowardly. If I try and I fail, I don't want to fail. So I just don't try at all. It's like they feel they're not really deserving of this thing. And so there could be this imposter syndrome, or just everybody's better than me, or you're much better than me. And like everything out there, like there's a huge, like, what's it called? It's like a lack mindset, really, scarcity, you know, it's not for me, it's for others here. And the only way to attain it is to be X, Y, Z, and I'm not there. So I might as well just like suffer here in my world. So this is what I have for you guys, pile number 2. Challenging. If you're called to another pile, I will see you there. All right, bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3, you guys picked gaslighting, card 69. Let's take a look, shall we? So we're looking at the person on your mind, person you came here about, and we're looking at what you think might be this person's biggest challenge, their problem, okay, versus what is objectively going on with this person and what might be their biggest challenge, okay, to see how you're seeing them and potentially find a way to bridge whatever conflict you guys might be having with this person by understanding them a little bit better. Okay, so I do ask you to use your intuition, which you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this pile makes sense for you throughout this card layout. If you want to go straight away to the channeled message, you can do this. Please keep in mind that energy sometimes comes reversed, meaning this might be your own energy. Okay, so we have 16 with Moon and Chiron. All right, so Moon is Cancer energy. Moon and Chiron. We have 31, quest for answers, ego level, meaning of life. Number 4, understanding the ego, influences of the past, contradictions, emotional balance, nature of suffering, creative introspection. Type 4, the individualist, emotional center between lack and abundance. And we have 62, the number 8, fundamental injury, stress level, injustice, abuse of power, malevolence, harm, persecution, mistreatment, feeling victimized. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness. Okay, and we have 93, or the number 3 here. It says mystical union, growth level, the authentic self, detachment from the results, balanced lifestyle, sincerity, intrinsic value, pure intention, willingness to contribute. Type 3, the achiever, emotional center between appearing and authenticity. All right, and then we have 106, healthy love, growth level, tempered love, love including others, empathetic love, realistic love, cool love, committed love, love in the present. Type 7, the enthusiast thinking center between pleasure and pain. So we have number 7 here, some more Cancer energy, some Taurus, Libra, some Leo, some Aquarius, and some Aries, and some Scorpio coming through. We have deceits. Honesty is the bridge to authentic connections, lies, deception, and fraud. Wowzers. And then we have illusion. Oh my goodness, I was going to say isolation. Illusion. Seek reality even if it's raw and challenging. It says mirage, fantasy, and deception. And we have the sword and rose. Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. And we have surrender your need to always be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. All right, and then we have the swallow. Okay, and then we have 17, make believe. Aquarius energy. Interesting with this make believe because we have here, where was it? Illusion. Fantasy. Make believe. Okay, and then we have 32 with the hold, or the number 5. Okay, let's do some tarot as well. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3 regarding the person they came here about. What does pile 3 think this person's biggest challenges versus what's actually this person's problem or their truth to their issues here? We have the Page of Cups in reverse and the 9 of Cups. Pile number 3. Person on their mind, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. We're looking at pile 3's person's biggest challenge here when it comes to the objective truth versus what pile 3 thinks is the biggest challenge with their person. 4 Pentacles, Justice in reverse, and I dropped a card. So we have some Libra energy, 10 Wands in reverse. Why is this Page of Cups here in reverse, Spirit? Hangman in reverse, Pisces energy. Why is 4 Pentacles here? We have 10 Cups. And finally, why is this 10 Wands here in reverse? Nine Swords in reverse. And then bottom of the deck, we have 7 Pentacles and 3 Swords under that. Okay, let me tap into this energy. The Lovers in reverse, Gemini energy. Okay. I think this might be your energy for a lot of you guys coming through here. Okay. Just take what resonates here. But I think I'm going to sort of, I don't know how I'm going to read. I'm going to read it however it channels through here. But I do feel like it's your energy. So this person that I'm tapped into here, I think is under an illusion. Okay, we have illusion here, this make-believe, and then this deception. And it's like they're deceiving themselves. There's a need to see clearly and honestly. What are they seeing clearly and honestly? They're being asked to see clearly and honestly themselves and their intentions. And until they could be honest with themselves, which means not through the eyes of the ego, not through the eyes of, I have good intention, because that's egoic driven. There's a need for this person to see beyond themselves and the version of them that they're putting out in this connection. Because the version of this person that they're putting out to this connection is still ego driven. A need to be loved, approved, seen, and attain whatever it is that they feel is in their mind, whatever needs to happen. And Spirit is saying that this person is needing to surrender in order for them to allow things to unfold, even if it feels like it is fearful of where it's going. Okay, I do feel like this person is bonding in this connection as a journey of sorts in order to learn a lesson. And what are they learning? They're learning to see themselves clearly, not from the eyes of ego. They're also learning to see other people from the eyes of clarity and truth, rather than through the eyes of however they want to manipulate situations. And so if there are challenging people, like this connection, for example, might be challenging for this person. This person is being asked to be honest with the challenges of this connection. If they're dealing with people who have closed hearts, or who are not being compassionate, or who are being selfish, or who are being, however they're being, this person is being asked to accept the truth and see the truth and not make up stories or try to contort themselves or situations or circumstances in a way that manipulates energy so that it's in line with where they think they need to go. I do feel like this person really wants to attach to outcome at all costs here, even if it means painting a picture that's not in reality here. And they are their biggest sort of challenge here with gaslighting, because I do feel like this person is, their dialogue to themselves can go any which way as long as it supports the narrative. And what's the narrative here? I want to have an outcome. And I will stop sort of at nothing. If I got to be victimized, I'm victimized. If I got to do this, then I got to do this, whatever the this is. And so this experience of this connection is confronting this person by posing challenge in circumstances and situations that will allow this person to open up their eyes, because this experience, this connection, is being brought upon this person so that they can learn about what unconditional love is in the present moment and be totally connected to the authentic self so that they can love from this place. Because I do feel like this person wants to be loved. And I feel like this person wants to have unconditional love to come to them. But in order for it to come to them, this person has to learn to give it. And I do feel like this person feels maybe very trapped by this connection. But their understanding is very limited here. They're hanging on to this understanding that they have. And they want it to be right. And they want whatever assumptions, calculations, and whatever in their mind is projected to be right in order for there to be something attained or something, lined up for them, which is what? This love that they want, this experience that they want. And I think that this person is sort of weighing certain things more than others based on their understanding, which their understanding could come from a lot of past experiences and triggers and traumas. So there's a lot of not seeing clearly. And they're really on this journey to see clearly their authentic self so that they could find the meaning. What is the meaning here? This is meaning of life. And really it's about objectively seeing experiences as they happen without attachments, without judgments, without attaching certain beliefs to those stories or experiences of the past, stories to those experiences of the past, so that they can be neutral parties in experiencing present moments as present moments are, without attaching any past versions of them and experiences. This person is their biggest challenge, and this is what they're being shown, and this is what they're being called to overcome. This is what this person is learning about. And I do feel like this person might be emotionally out of balance right now, because if there is something that isn't aligned again with the narrative or with their belief system, then they suffer. And so they're really being called to heal this. This person might act in certain ways in this connection. Again, this came up for all three piles, and they're reacting to the past, not necessarily reacting to what's going on in the circumstance of the present moment. And so they might get hurt or angry or whatever they're doing, however they respond emotionally. This person is really reacting to an experience of the past. This person cannot experience an authentic connection until they tap into their authentic self. So essentially, at the end of the day, what Spirit's really talking about here is this person is on the journey of, number one, connecting to the authentic self so that they can experience in this lifetime, if they go through this journey and learn their lessons, an actual authentic connection. But unless they connect to the authentic self, there won't be an authentic connection. There'll just be the illusion of the identity that they give themselves based on their past experiences, navigating in the world, clinging onto situations and relationships and connections in a way that is dissatisfying. And it'll forever be dissatisfying because their authentic self isn't being seen and nurtured and loved. And so I feel like this person wants commitment. I feel like this person wants to experience something here, like strongly, but they're going about it in a way that's uncovering a lesson. And it's going to be painful until they can see through how they're sort of engaged here. That's creating their own injustice. Because right now I feel like this person is experiencing injustice in this connection. Maybe not as much love as they wanted. Maybe not as much acceptance. Maybe not as much support. Maybe not as much connecting to that. It feels like limited in some way. Yeah, it's an imbalanced sort of situation here. This person's being asked to surrender, and this person is being asked to get out of their mind when it comes to the stories that they're attributing to how they think connection needs to be, how people need to show up, what it means in connection when certain things happen, and they project what they think it means, what it could mean, what it should mean. Meanwhile, it doesn't mean any of those things. First, this person needs to deconstruct the false self through this process of this journey, because I do feel, again, like this person is in this connection, learning and unbinding this false self of theirs so that they can see the truth of who they are. And once they see the truth of who they are, then they can engage in a balanced connection. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of suffering. And I do feel like there's a block here when it comes to being on the lover's path of where they're supposed to really be going and experiencing. And they could be spinning their wheels and giving and giving and giving to certain situations that are imbalanced until they finally surrender and accept to work with the divine to say, I don't see and I don't know and I don't understand things. And that's okay. I'm gonna allow the divine to unfold as it does. Loosen my grip, not be attached to outcome, not think that I know the right way or the answer of how it's going, not be emotionally reactionary to this situation, infusing it with the past version of me or emotions that I've carried in the past that projects onto this present moment that has nothing to do with this person or this moment or this experience. But I'm seeing this experience in this moment as a threat or as this or as that. And it's not true. And so until this person can see clearly the present moment and stop engaging in a way that is creating imbalanced situations and not hanging on and clinging to the stories that they think are accurate because they're attached to outcome, then this person will open up this lover's path. But I think there's going to be a lot of suffering and a lot of separation and pain created here until this authentic self is really connected to. I think that this person has intentions that aren't based in pure acceptance of reality. Their intention is based still on selfish, egoic desire, a desire to attain, a desire to fulfill some sort of thing. And they might chalk it up to it's a good intention, but good for who and good for what? And why is it good? And what does that have anything to do with the other person? So that this person is like victimizing themselves, over and over and over, I feel here, until they surrender and see the truth. So they're still hanging on, they're still not surrendered, and they're still experiencing unjust connections, specifically this one, because this is the one that I'm asking about. So like I said, for a lot of you guys, this is your own energy, but then how are we seeing this person? Seeing this person as maybe being emotional, maybe wanting to be right, really wanting control, really wanting to, be they want to project that the way that they're seeing their situation is actually right. And that's not necessarily true. And over time, this will be deconstructed in a way here, because the truth is what's going to stand once the false self falls away. 2 swords, King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, 8 cups, and Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Why is this 2 swords here? For pile number 3, a person on their mind, and how pile 3 thinks this person's biggest issue is versus the truth of this person's main challenge and problem in this connection. 10 Pentacles, and the 7 Cups, and the 10 Swords, and the 2 Pentacles. So we have 2 twos, the Fool in reverse, Aquarius energy. Okay, so Spirit is really talking about this connection being some sort of form of lesson, some form of journey, some form of pain and suffering for this person in order for them to accept truths about themselves and the authentic self, so that they know what connection is, like true authentic connection is, true pure intentions are, not based on egos and shadows. So there is this experience of this connection that doesn't allow things to progress, that is sort of stunted here until this person sees this. And they're really sort of attached to the outcome. They're really have their eye on the prize of what they could build. And it keeps them sort of here in this stagnant illusion, or this make-believe of what could be built. But it's just a fantasy of some story that they're needing to abandon. And they abandon it because they'll actually be in line with reality, knowing that there is no substance here. There is no creation here. They're just fixated on a version of what they think could be a potential here. There's a need to accept some form of ending, accept it, in order for them to show the divine that they're trusting the universe, and that they're trusting that things will unfold for the highest good. that they're accepting reality as it is, not as they wish it to be. Because right now, this connection, again, is very imbalanced. And I feel like this person might not be, like a priority here, and that there's nothing here that could be built, and that there's this stagnancy. And they'll have to trust themselves and be confident in themselves to move forward from this situation that doesn't have a solid footing here in the real world. They might not want to experience an end. They might not want to experience pain. They might not want to experience this. Meanwhile, they're already experiencing a 3 swords and a 9 swords in reverse here, because they're going through a prolonged, torturous, sort of imbalanced connection. Again, the journey, how long does it take before this person accepts truth? How long will it take before this person sees their authentic self? I don't know. Disappointment after disappointment here. But they can't have a new beginning until they're, look at this. They got to let go with the devil in reverse. So toxic ways of engagement, mindsets, obsessive desires driving this person and engaging in this connection, a need to be right when it comes to what the outcome can look like and what I can build and what this connection could mean. But it's all this like fantasy stuff. And the fact is, there's nothing really grounded in reality here. And instead of accepting this and acknowledging this person is just sort of staying here painfully. But it's unjust again, because this person won't experience a balanced union of sorts until this person really says, I'm one with the divine, and I trust that here isn't what's going to develop. Here is what I'm going to walk away from, because emotionally it's not providing. And so I set myself free on a journey here, and what will be, but I'm no longer going to peg myself to this devil so that I can have this new beginning, no matter the pain here. And it might feel like we're sort of, putting ourselves upon a chopping block here of sorts, but it's like, this is the journey. This is the trust in the divine. But I do feel like this person is just hanging on to a situation, circumstance that they wish to be a certain way. And once they go through the spirit saying, then they'll see the meaning, the meaning of connection, the meaning of authenticity, the meaning of what connection could really mean to them with pure intention, not through the eyes of emotional traumas and projections and like victimizing themselves and like narrating certain things that aren't true. Page of Cups in reverse. All this for what? For healthy love, opening the heart space with this Page of Cups in reverse. So I feel like they're engaged right now in situations that aren't providing them with love, So this connection could certainly be one that's falling short. And so how this other person sees this person is like, just emotionally sort of reactionary, projecting, clinging on to stories and ideas of what they think love should be and how it should look, and not confident to trust in the divine and with their own self to move forward. And that they could appear sort of unstable or back and forth or up and down emotionally here. It's like 1 minute they're in, 1 minute they're out. Okay, so this is what I see, pile number 3. I hope this helped you. Like I said, for a lot of you guys, this might be your own energy. You might want to go check out another pile. Interesting readings today. I love you guys very much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.